The American television journalist Don Lemon joined CNN as a correspondent in 2006 and rose to popularity as the host of Don Lemon Tonight from 2014 to 2022. He recently co-hosted CNN This Morning with Caitlyn Collins and Poppy Harlow. Don has an Edward R. Murrow Award and 3 regional Emmy Awards. However, CNN fired him on April 24, 2023, following various controversies and controversial on-air comments, capping off his 17-year tenure as one of the network's most well-known and outspoken personalities. Hi, welcome to YouWannaWatch, and in this video, we're going to talk about the 10 controversies of CNN's ex-journalist Don Lemon. Starting off at number 1, we have his tough love speech disguised as a bootstrap lecture. Don Lemon resurrected an apparently timeless collection in July 2013 when he showed up on television and lectured Black America on 5 ways to fix our community. Don't have children out of wedlock, he stated. Finish school, keep one's local environment clean, stop using the N-word, and stop wearing sagging pants. He built his argument on a video clip of Bill O'Reilly, who stated that the disintegration of the African American family is the reason there is so much violence and chaos in the Black precincts. He also made it clear to his Twitter followers that he is not from a wealthy family, but was born to an unwed mother and dropped out of college. This was intended to protect him from any attacks that questioned his affinity with Black working-class experiences and his authority over Black culture. Number 2. Sued for assault by Hampton's bartender. Former bartender Dustin Heiss filed a lawsuit in August 2019 against Don Lemon, alleging that the host assaulted him after he disgustingly fondled himself at a neighborhood drinking hole in 2018. In the lawsuit against Don, Dustin, who was working as a bartender, claimed he recognized the host during a night out with colleagues. He claimed he offered to buy Don a drink, but he refused. The two had no further interaction until later that night when Dustin claimed Don approached him and put his hand down the front of his own shorts. However, the controversial lawsuits came to an end with a bang. A legal decision issued in December 2021 determined that Dustin provided inconsistent testimony at an earlier deposition about the case and that he engaged in egregious conduct after filing his claim. This includes selectively deleting text messages, erasing social media posts including his entire Twitter account, which was deleted just 1 week after his claim was filed, and concealing unfavorable testimony. Dustin dropped the case in January 2022 after it had gone to trial and it was dismissed in court. Number 3. He was criticized for asking CNN political commentator 𝗖𝗡𝗂𝗏 if he was suffering from mommy brain. When the CNN political commentator 𝗖𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗀 was on a panel to discuss the Mar-a-Lago raid and the Republican Party's future, things deviated when she briefly lost her line of thought, and Don Lemon could not let the moment pass. The television journalist even asked the commentator if the cause of her fumbling is the mommy brain. 𝗖𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗀 looked surprised by the remark, leading in a brief awkward quiet, and responded that she did not have a mommy brain, she just forgot what she was going to say. Number 4. He was criticized for saying women's soccer is less interesting than men's soccer. Don Lemon got criticism from his female co-hosts Caitlyn Collins and Poppy Harlow in December 2022 during a discussion on women's soccer in which he stated on air that men's soccer is more interesting to watch. According to Don, men's soccer makes more money, and if they make more money, then they should get more money. He also added that the reason why men's teams make more money is because people are more interested in men's soccer. Poppy then sought to explain to Don that the men's teams made more money because they received more advertising dollars, claiming she had a big issue with his views. Until big media companies, big tech companies, advertisers, invest and put them on their airwaves more and allow people to see it more and gain more fans, Poppy Harlow said, then you will push towards more equality. But if they are blocked in so many ways and not invested in as much, they don't even have a chance. Number 5. His most embarrassing television gaffes. You know the old saying, when life gives you lemons, say something stupid on live television. Don Lemon sure does. The first example was that time when he genuinely wondered if there was a supernatural explanation for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370's disappearance and said it could have been swallowed by a black hole. Thankfully, the former U.S. Inspector General 𝗖𝗡𝗂𝗍𝗶𝗀𝗀 of the Department of Transportation politely shut Don Lemon down, telling him that a small black hole would suck in the entire universe. Next, when Don compared a real prisoner of war to a fictional character from the Showtime series Homeland. Third was when Don interviewed musician 𝗖𝗡𝗂𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 on CNN and it did not go as planned. When 𝗖𝗡𝗂𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 tried to challenge Don on CNN's coverage of Ferguson around a minute and a half into the interview, the two got into an altercation that utterly wrecked the interview. But at the end of the interview, they became friends again. There was also a time when he became a target of sarcasm after confusing semi-automatic and automatic guns during an interview. But Don claimed that he had just misspoken and that his error was irrelevant. Number 6. His advice to a 𝗖𝗡 victim. Don Lemon chose to utilize his airtime during an interview with Joan Tarshis, a music publicist and journalist who has publicly accused Bill Cosby of sexual assault, to offer some helpful advice on how Tarshis could have easily avoided being in the first place. Joan said she told Bill Cosby she had an infection in order to persuade him to leave her alone. Instead, Bill allegedly compelled her to have oral with him. But Don also had some suggestions on how she may have gotten out of the scenario. Don stated in the interview that if she did not want to go down on him, she might have simply bitten him. Number 7. His feud with former U.S. President Donald Trump. Don's outspoken criticism of Donald Trump made him a target of the former president. In January 2018, after Donald Trump controversially referred to countries such as El Salvador, Haiti, and Honduras as holes during a meeting on immigration, Don opened CNN Tonight with a proclamation that the President of the United States is racist. A lot of us already knew that. In 2017, Donald Trump coined a nickname for Don as the dumbest man on television. In 2020, he called the TV anchor not a smart person, following a segment in which the host criticized the former president and his followers. In October 2022, Don said that Donald lacked the confidence to appear on CNN and answer his questions, and that he and the audience were ready to move on from the former president's involvement in political discussions. He also begged the media to leave Donald Trump alone and stop covering him in June 2021, but then went on other rants against the former president, calling him the disgraced former president. We are nearing the end of our video, but before we proceed, we would like to ask you to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/𝗖𝗡/YouWannaWatch 2022, and follow us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/YouWannaWatch. Any support you provide us will help us provide you with more and better content. Okay, now back to the story. Number 8. He allegedly screamed at Caitlyn Collins off camera. In early February of this year, Don Lemon was claimed to have screamed at his co-anchor Caitlyn Collins after an on-air segment. He allegedly approached Caitlyn after the December 8, 2022 program and raged at her in front of colleagues for allegedly interrupting him on television. According to the New York Post, Don approached Caitlyn after filming and screamed at her. Don screamed at Caitlyn, who was visibly upset, and ran out of the studio, one source told the outlet. According to the source, CNN CEO Chris Licht directed a producer to speak with Don and tell him to take the next day off to cool off. The source said that Don's co-workers have been acting like everything is good. No one wants to rock the boat, they all love the show and are willing to just move on. Don and Caitlyn both remained silent about the incident. Number 9. He told Nikki Haley she's past her prime. In February 2023, Don Lemon was blasted after he claimed former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is not in her prime and declared a woman is in her prime in her 20s, 30s, and maybe 40s. His co-anchor Poppy Harlow asked him if he meant prime for childbearing or prime for being president. According to Don, a woman is considered to be in her prime at those ages if you look it up on Google. When analyst Audie Cornish joined the conversation an hour later, he brought up the matter again. Audie, like Poppy, stated that the concept of prime that Don was alluding to was about reproductive years and had nothing to do with mental health or aging. Later that day, Don apologized for his inartful and irrelevant remarks about a woman's prime age. He tweeted, "The reference I made to a woman's prime this morning was inartful and irrelevant, as colleagues and loved ones have pointed out, and I regret it. A woman's age doesn't define her either personally or professionally. I have countless women in my life who prove that every day." Meanwhile, Nikki Haley tweeted out a video of the CNN exchange saying liberals can't stand the idea of having competency tests for older politicians to make sure they can do the job. By the way, it's always the liberals who are the most sexist. She also retweeted other anti-Lemon tweets from conservative politicians and media people, and she acted rapidly to capitalize on the situation. Number 10. He was fired by CNN after 17 years on the network. The TV news anchor wrote on Twitter, "I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am stunned." He also stated in the tweet that he would have thought someone in management would have had the decency to notify him directly. He stresses that there was no indication that he would be unable to continue doing the work he loved at the network. CNN did not explain why the anchor left, but it did contradict his version of events. It said that Don's statement about the event was inaccurate. In fact, he was offered an opportunity to meet with management but instead released a statement on Twitter. CNN chairman Chris Licht said in a separate statement that CNN and Don have parted ways and he will forever be a part of the CNN family. He also thanked him for Don's contributions over the past 17 years. What do you think about Don Lemon and his controversies? Are you a big fan of his? Did we miss anything that you think should have been included? Let us know your thoughts by writing a comment on this video. If you're interested in our other videos, just hover over the videos and just press play. Until next time, watchers, thank you for watching our video.